welcome to episode 13. I'm Sean Deedle, and this is the Purpose Driven Funnel Show. I'm embarking on a journey to grow a successful online business so I can break free from my 9 to 5. The question is, how will I do it? Find out right here on the Purpose Driven Funnel Show, where you will get an insider's view as I interview experts who have succeeded. I'm doing it because my why is bigger than my 9 to 5. Life was meant to be a joy, not a chore. Will you join me? Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/purpose-driven-funnels. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Well, today I've got Corey Gray on the show. He is a Facebook ads expert and a funnel consultant. He's also a minister in Nicaragua, and he loves to teach the Word of God, and he has built several online courses. He also loves helping churches use modern-day technology and online marketing to grow their reach. So, Corey, man, it sounds like you've got it all. Tell us a little bit about all that. How'd you get into this?
Yeah, so I do a lot of different things online, and I guess the reason I got into it because I needed it for myself. And so running a ministry here in Nicaragua, I also do a lot online because, you know, Nicaragua, they speak Spanish, but I speak English. So I was also doing parallel ministry online, preaching and teaching and things like that. And I got to the point where I was like, I really would like to grow our ministry to the next level. And I had lots of different businessmen around me at that time that were saying, you know, you need to be using some of these marketing tools that are available to you. In ministry, I was like, in ministry, marketing tools? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, we're just supposed to trust God. We're not supposed to pay for advertising to reach people. Like, God will send them in, right? And so I stayed with that mindset for about 6 to 8 months or so, but that kept coming to me. Use these tools, use these tools. Finally, I'm like, all right, what are these tools you guys keep talking about? And one of them was Facebook ads. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit of research, Facebook ads. And I went into it and I saw that you could target like hyper interested audiences. And then I saw another thing where it says you can target the friends of everyone who liked your page. And I was like, no way, that's how I could reach another level out. Like, these people are already almost connected to the ministry. They're interested in the same type of things. Why don't I try to reach them? So I started running ad campaigns, just testing things out. I saw a little bit of results, but then I realized there's so much more. It's not just like boosting a post. There's a whole lot more to learn. And so I bought a course, and then that didn't teach me everything I needed. I bought another course, and I went on this adventure learning all this stuff and started implementing it in our ministry. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, businesses really, really could make some money if they would use these strategies I've been learning. And so I started doing it for some businesses, started offering my services free for practice, and I started seeing some success. And then I started an agency, and now I've been taking on clients, and we take clients on from business. And also there's some ministries that come around, and I help them with either building online courses, just developing strategies so that they can grow their reach.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome. So it sounds like you started in ministry first, and then you were introduced to these marketing tools, the funnels and the Facebook ads and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yep.
So how did you get into the funnel part of it? So you went into Facebook ads. So how did the funnels come up?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So basically what happened is I bought this Facebook ads course from who I thought was probably the best marketer out there in Facebook ads. And I'm taking this course, and over to the side, every once in a while they're talking about landing pages and funnels and click funnels and these different things. And I was so overwhelmed with the Facebook part that I just wasn't even focused on that yet. But then after I finished the course, when you run an ad, or if you have a business or, whatever, you're running advertising, you have to send the people somewhere.
Right.
Okay. And you want to have an online mechanism in place that can do some heavy lifting for you. And so I started learning about landing pages, and I realized that that's just as important as understanding the advertising element, the technical side. You also have to understand the sales and psychology behind a funnel, which a funnel is simply a mechanism that leads people to a desired result, to a goal that you have, right? And it could be a small thing or it could be a large ticket item, but you need that mechanism in place. And so the reason why I really needed to learn funnels is because I had online courses and I wanted to advertise for those courses. But you can't just advertise to a cold audience and be like, hey, I got this $500 course. It's awesome. You all should come in and buy it, right? That doesn't work. So you have to come up with a strategy, and you can work it together in a funnel by, for example, do a short video, talk about the benefits of, learning this message and that and the other thing. And then when they click the button, they go to a page that is laid out in a strategic, psychological manner, right? And what I tell people when you build a funnel, you want to send them to a location that gives them exactly what they would be needing to buy, exactly what they would be needing, what you would need to act. And so that's why I tell people, if they bring me their funnel, I said, would this convert you? And so that's where I started learning this stuff. I started getting really just kind of infatuated with this idea because I have a background in sales. I worked in sales for many years when I was just starting my work career at the age of, I think, 17, 18. I started selling phone service online. Then I started selling vacations. Then I started, becoming a supervisor over these groups of people, teaching them how to do sales. And I always have loved sales. And the reason why I love funnels, I was telling my wife this earlier, is like, I like doing the techie stuff, but I really like the psychology of sales. And I love the fact that I can put it all together into a funnel that does it automatically while I'm sleeping. You see,
nice.
That's the fun. That's the fun about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've brought up some good points that I want to ask about. Talking specifically about funnels, right? So, I heard you say landing page, and there's a lot of other terminology out there I want to ask you about too. But can you just kind of give us, what's a landing page? Like, what do you mean when you say landing page? Is that something specific, or is this like a general concept?
Yeah. So landing page. Yeah, it's just kind of a general concept. Some people are real specific about their definitions, but to me, a landing page is very general in scope. It's just something that people land on when they click on your ad or they click on your link, a location they land on. Now, the difference is a landing page is not a website. A landing page is a page. It's not a website with many pages. That would be the main difference.
Okay, so when you're saying this, so they don't go to a website where they've got all these menus and look at the products and shop here and stuff. This is a very kind of hyper-focused page then on
exactly
what you're trying to guide somebody to.
Yep. When you run ads, you want to have it for a specific thing, and you want to have your landing page for that specific thing, answering questions, having reviews and testimonies and things like that. And the reason why is if you try to sell 3 things at once and then you go to the landing page, it has 3 different things you're trying to sell. Nobody will buy anything because they don't have time to try to decipher what's going on, what's this tab over here, because you can actually do screen records of people when you try to sell multiple things or have multiple pages. They'll just kind of sporadically move their mouse around when they get to your page and then click the X. But if you have one thing, it's much easier. People are in a rush, and and then you bring out the strategy after that.
Nice. So once you get them there on the landing page, what's the objective? I mean, what are you trying to do, or what is the next step in that funnel?
Yeah. So the landing page, let me explain it like this. This is the way I see it. So landing page is the page you land on. It becomes a funnel when you start adding other products, when you start adding other things like upsells, downsells, membership purchases. Okay. So, which is what you want, right? But a landing page is cool. If you have one product you're selling, knock it out, right? But say after they buy that one product, they purchased it, then the next page pops up. It's not two pages visible to the person. It's one page. They click buy or go to the next thing or whatever. They click your button, and then another page opens up with another offer where it says, hey, many people who are buying this are also interested in this book. Would you like to get this book right now for 50% off? And they have the option to say, yes, add it to my ticket, or no, thanks. Now, if they say yes, then you're going to sell them something else. You're going to keep that train rolling while people are buying, because a lot of times if someone's buying, they're going to be a hyper buyer. If you're selling fishing poles, right, and you're targeting a fishing audience, well, you may end up selling fishing lures as well. In an upsell, you may potentially 1 out of 100 sell a boat, right? So you can have 4 upsells going through there, all the things a person would need that would go in line with that fishing pole. And that's the funnel, because you're funneling people through a process step by step. You're taking them through that sales process. This is the sales process that happens if you were to go into Bass Pro Shops or any other tracker or whatever. You're going in for a fishing pole, but they don't just carry fishing poles. They have lures, they have boats, they have life vests, they have bobbers, they have tackle boxes, all those things. Why? Because when someone's coming in for a fishing pole, they're going to need other things. And we can capture that same strategy in a funnel that will work for us, and then set up ads and run them to that funnel.
So what I kind of heard you say, it sounds like, so that initial offer that you bring somebody into, then the upsells are like related to the first item. Like, what's the next thing you need? Like I heard you say, okay, you're selling a fishing pole, so what else do you need? A lure. What I didn't hear you say was, I'm going to sell them a fishing pole and then see if I can sell them a yacht, right? Or or a house or something completely
or a cookbook.
Yeah, right.
Like that. Yeah.
So is that a strategy that you do it that way on purpose? So what's kind of the psychology behind that, or the reasoning there?
Yeah. So if someone say you're using Facebook ads, and we'll use fishing pole for example. You find a page on Facebook that top fishing magazine or whatever, and you start targeting everyone who likes that fishing magazine. Okay, so there may be a new person that's just like scoping it out, whatever, saw an article, liked it, whatever. And you can start running ads to everyone who has liked that specific fishing magazine page. Now, this may be a new fisher, new person fishing. It may be an old person fishing. It doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is we're targeting fishermen. People have interest in fishing. And if we're bringing them in with a pole, right? Well, that pole's gonna, this is my kind of thinking, that pole's gonna need string, line, it's gonna need, some tackle, and you could add all those things in and create a specific page for each item. And yeah, it's strategic. There's a lot of people in like golfing, they'll start out with some super awesome new golf balls, and then they're going to sell clubs, and then they're going to sell bags, and then they're going to sell shoes. And then after that, they may offer you the ability to join their membership program where you learn how to swing like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is in the group, you know what I'm saying? And it's $30 a month. And if you're a new golfer and you're really wanting to get good at this, you're going to buy all those things. If you got the money and you feel like it's something you can do at that moment, you will buy every single thing. I mean, there's times here in Nicaragua, for example, where there's, I got a little extra money, and there's, one of the vendors outside, and he's got his fruit stand. And I talked about this in our group. They have their small ticket items, their oranges or whatever on the front. But when you come in and buy that, they're like, hey, do you want a pineapple? Hey, do you want watermelon? Hey, do you want this thing or that thing? And if I can reason in my mind, yeah, you know what? I do need a bunch of fruit. It's fruit time. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll buy all the fruit he's got and bring it home. And he brought me in with oranges. So
Right.
this process exists in sales everywhere we go. And we just have to learn how to capture it online in a system. And what's cool about online is if you build it right, then you can have it be running and just you come in and kind of tinker with it here and there to optimize and make sure everything's working.
So in that process, I heard you say earlier a downsell. Can you just kind of tell us what is a downsell and how does that work in a funnel?
Okay, so for example, if you were selling, we'll just stick with fishing poles. You sell a fishing pole, they buy it, and then you're like, hey, would you like to buy this new state-of-the-art tackle box? It's $99.95, and they could say yes and buy that, or they could say no. So if they click no, then you take them to another page and say, okay, cool. You don't want the tackle box. So would you by chance be interested in purchasing this DVD compilation of the top biggest catches in 2019, right? And that's maybe $19.95. So they may not want a giant tackle box, but what's something that's a lower ticket that you could bring them to if they push no that may still generate you some extra income? Because you don't want to just miss out on that. Some people say, well, I hate when people do that type of stuff online. No, you can do it in a way that is super fluid and super easy. And that's kind of the whole idea. You don't create something that's like, a whole bunch of crazy pop-ups. It's very fluid. It's very nice. The people enjoy it. And I actually have really, really high conversions on my upsells. And sometimes I'm like, dang, really? They're actually just buying it like this? But they do. And because people always want more. When they're coming in to buy something, a lot of times they want to buy it to the max. They don't just want 50% of the course. They want that extra one-on-one call. They want to maximize that deal. So give them the ability.
Yeah, so that's a major key. I think I just learned from you right now. So it sounds like if you got a funnel, you need at least one upsell. You need to take them at as high as they want to go, and as far as the information or the products or whatever that they want to buy. So why not offer it, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was saying the other day, I was like, why not holler at a boat company when you're bringing in your fishing people, and you could partner with a boat company and say, hey, if I sell a boat, I'm gonna send them your way, but I need $100. Right. You can always work out those deals.
Absolutely. So I also heard you say conversion. What do you mean when you say conversion?
A conversion just means that, you can make a conversion whatever you want it. It's basically a goal that you have for your campaign. So maybe the goal is to get emails, right? And people opt in. So that would be an opt-in conversion. So maybe you want someone to buy your membership program and they actually purchase. That could be a conversion. A conversion is simply a goal that you mark out and can track. So that's a big, big thing to explain to someone that's never understood this. But in simple terms, it's something that you can track with analytics, if that makes sense. Whether it be a purchase, someone gave their email, or whatever you mark out in the beginning.
So it's basically you're taking a potential customer and converting them into some action that you want to see.
They took action that you can track, basically.
So they gave you their email address, which I heard you say that's an opt-in, right? So in exchange, maybe for a free download or some information, or they've given their dollars over in exchange for your product. So those would be like what you're talking about when you say conversions.
Yep, that's a conversion action. So like when you're running ads behind the scenes, you tell the system what a conversion is, if that makes sense. And then, so you could say if someone puts in their email and then lands on this page, that's a conversion. So you decide what a conversion is. And then what happens is once you have that metric in place, you can then optimize for those specific actions. Because you can actually tell the system, hey, I'm optimizing for conversions, which means they put in their email, right? And so what Facebook will do is it will gather up the data from everyone who puts in their email, and it will find more people like that, more people who are likely to put in their email, and you'll optimize your campaigns for conversions.
Yeah, that's awesome. And another part of this that you brought up again, and that I kind of mentioned in the beginning, you being in Nicaragua, right? So obviously, I mean, you're outside of the U.S. and you've got this business going. So who are your clients? Are they really people there in Nicaragua, or where are your clients kind of come from generally, and who do you work with?
USA, Canada. Yep, that's where they're at. And then I have like students learning. I have some in Australia, and yeah, mostly Canada and USA.
So yeah, that's another thing I really love about this business. So you're living proof that right here, talking to us today, that you are in another country and you're selling things to people in other countries outside of where you're at, and able to make a living. And so that's location freedom, right? And that's awesome. And so that's another good thing I wanted to bring up, because here you are doing it.
Yeah, it's really cool because, and that was kind of another thing I wanted to develop, was a business that I didn't have to be stuck in a location, that I could do from anywhere. And online advertising, building funnels for people, you can do it all from wherever you want. And there is a little bit of limitation, because sometimes clients, they're like, man, I don't know how to work no video conferencing, and they just are super untech savvy, but you don't really want to work with those people anyways. But it is a little bit easier when you're on site in the USA or, United Kingdom, wherever you're from. It's easier on site because you can actually go to their offices and show them how this works. But you can actually get them right here, do screen shares. That's what I do. I was just actually doing it right before we got on the call here, and show them what you're doing. And yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So, hey, Corey, it's been awesome, man. I really have appreciated you coming on and sharing your story with us and your knowledge and funnels. So if somebody wanted to find you, what's the best place for them to find you at?
Okay, so I just made it really easy for people. I created a landing page, right, that actually goes into mini funnels. Okay, so you would just go to kingdombusinesslifestyle.com, and I recommend just kind of testing it out, seeing what it's like. But we have a podcast on there, and there's training courses and our online store and different things like that. You can access everything from there.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Corey. I'll make sure we get that put in the show notes. And again, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. Thanks for having me.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed the show today. Don't forget to check the show notes page and make sure you get all the great resources that are available there. And also, if you like the show, please do me a favor and rate and review it. It really helps me get the word out to others just like you. So until next time, I'm wishing you success in your purpose-driven business journey. God bless.